where every coin tells a story. And today, that story is about a coin you might have once carried in your pocket or dropped into a vending machine without a second thought. But this quarter is no ordinary change. This is the 1982 Washington quarter dollar, and it holds a place in American coinage history that most people overlook. Let's step back to the year 1982, a time of change for the United States. Economy inflation had shaken the country in the late 70s, and the early 80s were no easier. The nation was entering a recession, unemployment was rising, and costs were being cut everywhere, including at the United States Mint. And this brings us to one of the most fascinating facts about the 1982 quarter. It was the first year since 1964 that the US Mint chose not to produce uncirculated coin sets. This decision was driven by budget cuts and financial constraints, and for collectors, it would prove to be a turning point. The 1982 quarter was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint, which gave us the 1982 quarter, had only recently begun using the P Mint mark, just 2 years earlier in 1980. So this coin was part of the early group of coins to proudly carry the P, indicating its place of birth. Now, when it comes to metal content, the 1982 quarter, like all post-1965 quarters, was made from a clad composition of copper and nickel over a copper core. Gone were the days of silver quarters, and the 1982 coin was built for durability and high mintage to meet the demands of the economy. But the absence of mint sets combined with high circulation meant that very few of these coins survived in truly high grades. One of the most sought-after traits of the 1982 Washington quarter is its condition. Most circulated examples have wear and tear, but uncirculated or high mint state coins are incredibly rare, and when found, can fetch serious money, especially if they have strong luster, full details, and no major contact marks. And because the mint didn't produce official uncirculated sets in 1982, collectors had to rely on finding pristine coins from circulation or through bank rolls. Another fascinating detail lies in the varieties and errors of the 1982 quarter. One of the most famous is the no mint mark weak strike, where the P is barely visible or missing entirely, although not officially considered an error by the mint. Some of these weak strike coins have created buzz in the coin community. Collectors debate the minting process, the die pressure, the wear on dies, and the speed of production that could have led to missing or faint mint marks. Then there are strike doubling and die deterioration errors seen on some 1982 quarters. These types of errors often appear on the word Liberty, the date, or the mint mark. And while some are minor, others are dramatic enough to bring premium prices on the secondary market. To understand the 1982 Washington quarter is to understand a moment in U.S. mint history when cost-cutting collided with mass production, and a subtle storm of rarity was born. Most collectors at the time didn't know this coin would become difficult to find in mint state condition decades later, which is why those who held on to bankrolls or saved new-looking quarters from change are now sitting on numismatic gold. The obverse of the coin still features the classic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design originally introduced in 1932 for the bicentennial of Washington's birth, and the reverse features the bold eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing America's balance of readiness and peace. The design stayed unchanged through decades until the state quarters arrived in 1999. Collectors often wonder what makes the 1982 quarter so different from other clad coins, and the answer lies in the fact that this coin bridges the gap between mass production and collectible scarcity, is the result of everyday coinage meeting unexpected rarity, a circulating coin that became a challenge to collect in top quality. And as years pass by, the number of untouched examples only continues to shrink, making this an exciting piece for both new collectors and veteran numismatists. In recent years, High-grade 1982p. Quarters certified by PCGs or NGC have commanded hundreds of dollars at auction. Ms. 66 and Ms. 67 examples are especially prized by registry set collectors who aim to build complete and high-ranking sets, and for those looking for investment coins. The 1982p quarter has quietly become one of the hidden gems in modern clad coinage. Now, let's talk population numbers and census reports. Grading services have noted that while millions of 1982 quarters were struck, only a tiny fraction have been submitted and certified in high grades. This creates a supply and demand issue and fuels the coin's long-term value trajectory. In fact, for coins that were once worth just 25 cents, seeing them fetch triple digits in auctions is proof of how the numismatic world can reward knowledge and patience. Many collectors enjoy the hunt for the 1982p Washington quarter because it represents more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history minted in a transitional time. It is also part of a small club of modern quarters with real scarcity in high grades, and it teaches us that even modern change can become tomorrow's treasure. So if you have a 1982p quarter in your collection, or maybe tucked away in a drawer, take a closer look. Check the surfaces, the fields, the luster, and the mint mark, and consider whether you might be holding something much more valuable than a piece of old change. This is not just metal, it's a memory, a marker in American coinage, a piece of everyday life turned collectible. Stay with us as we now explore grading tips, auction values, and real examples from coin shows that have brought the 1982p quarter